Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to all in Islam and Moral Education class. My dear students, and before every class I am very interested to recite Durud Sharif, so I would like to request all of you to recite Durud Sharif with me. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad an-Nabiyyi al-Ummi wa alihi wa sallim. My dear students, today we will discuss on chapter 2, lesson 8. Lesson 8, Sura Al Inshirah. Today we will discuss on chapter 2. That means chapter 2 and lesson 8. The lesson 8 is Sura Al Inshirah. My dear students, Sura Al Inshirah, there are 8 ayats. How many ayats there are? There are 8 ayats, and there are two types of surah, Makki surah and Madani surah. And Sura Al Inshirah is Makki surah. Surah Al Inshirah is Makki surah. And how many ayats are there? There are 8 ayats. And they are the very first ayat, Alam Nashrah, from Nashrah, the name of Surah Alam Nashrah had been taken from the very first verse, the very first very word. So my dear students, Surah Al Inshirah is the Makki surah, and there are 8 ayats, and the serial number of this surah 94. My dear students, there are 114 surah in the Holy Quran, and Surah Al Inshirah, the serial number of Surah Al Inshirah is 94. And my dear students, there are 8 ayats, Makki surah and Al Inshirah, from first verse, Alam Nashrah like a sadra, there Nashrah, so that word is the name of this surah, my dear students. Okay, my dear students, I think you got some information from my lecture. There are 4 or 5 information. So those students who didn't open your book, please open your IME book, Islam and Moral Education, and lesson 8, chapter 2, Surah Al Inshirah. My dear students, then we will discuss on Shani Nuzul. What is the Shani Nuzul? Shani Nuzul means the background of any surah, the background of any ayat, any surah. There are a lot of verses in the Holy Quran. There are a lot of verses, there are a lot of surahs in the Holy Quran. But why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed that surah? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed that ayat? And what is the special reason for revealed that surah, this surah, or any ayat? So if you for every ayat, for every surah, there is specific reason. So we have to know the specific reason for particular ayat, for particular verse. So Surah Al Inshirah, there are also Shani Nuzul. My dear students, and when our Holy Prophet Muhammad Islam, and he started to invitation to Islam in Arab's country, and before, and he invited people, then everybody loved so much. Everybody loved him so much, and he was highly respected man everywhere, and they called our Holy Prophet Islam Alami, and they loved and respected always our Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But when our Holy Prophet Muhammad Islam, he got Nabuwwat, and he started to spreading Islam, he started to invite the people to Islam. Then they started to insult our Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They always disturb our Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Even though the new Muslim, converted Muslim, and they also tortured by the non-Muslim, the mushriks, the kafirs. They always started to disturb our Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The relative of Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the new Muslims, those people, they perform salat, and that time they tortured. So when Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and new Muslims, and they could not tolerate anymore, and that time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the surah as a counsel, my dear students. And Allah the Most High revealed the surah to counsel the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And just if you read the Shani Nuzul, then you will get a clear idea. I told you the main theme or the basic theme of Surah Al Inshirah. Okay, my dear students, now the translation of Sura Al Inshirah. Translation of Sura Al Inshirah. Okay, everybody take your copy, and I have PDF version book 68, page number 68. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Alam nashrah laka sadrak. Have we not expanded your chest? Wada'na anka wizrak. And we have removed your burden. Then verse number 3. Alladhi anqadha dhahrak. Whatever was pressing your back to break or bend, it by causing pain. وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ. And we have heightened your fame. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Surely with hardship goes ease and comfort. إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Certainly with hardship goes comfort. فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانصَبْ. So as you find leisure, you do worship your Lord. And the last number verse, وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب. And concentrate on your nourisher, Lord. That time whenever you get free time, you have to worship to your Almighty. You have to worship your Lord. My dear students, one thing is very important here, that is, if you don't know the explanation of any ayat, if you don't know the main purpose of revelation of any ayat or any verse, then you can get the main lesson from any surah or from any ayat. And you know, there are a lot of translation book in our market, in local market. And if you start all translation, just by yourself, you just read that on all translation, you will not get any message from the Holy Quran. Even Al-Hadith also. If you just read the meaning of Al-Hadith, then Bukhari Sharif, Muslim Sharif, just you read the translation of any Hadith, then you will not get the clear message. So every word and every Hadith, every Surah, the message of Almighty Allah, there is a message, there is a instruction, there are some instruction, there are some shanizul, there are some various purpose. So you have to know this. If you don't know that thing, then you will not get the clear idea. Okay, my dear students, and just we got the translation of Sura Al Inshirah. Now we are going to explanation. You know, my dear students, in this surah, at first, when our Holy Prophet Muhammad he came this world, that time that Arab country was not good, and that Arab country was filled up by total darkness, and without respect, the people, they didn't love each other, they didn't respect each other, and totally out of control. A society totally full of dark. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave hidayat to our Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he got the nubuwwat from Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My dear students, and Allah the Most High granted him release from this pain. He faced him prophethood. He guided them to the right path. My dear students, on becoming Prophet Rasulullah began to preach Islam among the Arabs, and the Kafirs of Makkah started to oppose him. They tried to a number of ways to resist him. And when our Holy Prophet Muhammad started, when he started to invite the people to coming to Islam, that time the Kafirs, they started to stop our Holy Prophet Muhammad. They tried their all side to stop the invitation of Islam. Then Muhammad could not. He had to stop the invite the people. But after all, then they started to torture Holy Prophet Muhammad. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this surah as a counsel to our Holy Prophet Muhammad. Okay, my dear students, now I would like to welcome all of you to teaching of this surah, the teaching of Surah Al Inshirah. Please, you can see in your screen, then you can easily understand the teaching of Surah Al Inshirah. Number one, my dear students, and Surah Al Inshirah teaching, he who strives for truth and justice, Allah the Most High expands his heart and shows him the path of truth. Number 2, it is Allah the Most High who removes the suffering of man. Number 3, man's name and fame, honor and prestige, all are the disposal of Allah the Most High. He bestows honor and status on whomsoever He desires. Number 4, sorrows and pain are inevitable, linked up with man's life. So despair at sorrows and suffering is of no avail. Rather, all this must be faced with fortitude. Number 5, each moment of life is valuable. So this valuable time must be utilized, duties and obligations must be justified, discharged. Students, number 6, after the preoccupation with mundane matters, man must engage himself in servitude to and worship of Allah the Most High. It is the differentiation of His favorite slave to focus his attention on Allah the Most High. Okay, my students, these are the teaching of Sura Al Inshirah just we got. And my dear students, I'd like to request all of you to recite Sura Al Inshirah more and more, to memorize the translation of Sura Al Inshirah, and try to take lesson, try to take the proper lesson from Al Inshirah. If you read this surah, if you read this thing, then you can easily understand. And my dear student, if you skip any video of my previous classes, then you can watch this in my YouTube channel, Hasan Yahya. Then you can watch all previous previous classes. Thank you so much, my dear students. No more today. May Allah bless us all, and stay home, keep safe, and pray for your teacher, pray for your parents, and pray for our country, pray for Muslim world. No more today. May Allah bless us all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.